What's up, yo? I'm Dennis the Business. Welcome to Black Social TV. Do click subscribe. We're talking Rakim, or Rahim rather, aka Meek Mill. Now, you all know in 2017, Meek Mill was sentenced to about 2 to 4 years in prison following what the legal system in the US calls parole violation. But for this way, only the latest event that Meek Mill has faced as the rapper, who is best known for stuff like Nightmares, the LP Dreams, his beef with rapper Drake, and also, obviously, we cannot forget the relationship with Nicki Minaj, the rap goddess right there. And Meek Mill, for the past decade, he has try to navigate all through this stuff right away. Now, many a time, we can say through the years, Mill's fan base, they have watched him repeatedly being found guilty of technical infractions that have also extended his probation and also sent him back to jail. Now, this was painful. Now, for many all the funds that Meek Mill has, this became a symbol of criminal justice reforms. Now ask me how. Meek Mill, whose real name is Robert Remake Williams, a Philadelphia born and bred right there. His father is Robert Parker, who is also described by his brothers as a drug dealer and robber. He was murdered when Mill was just 5 years old. Now, almost a toddler, we can say. Now, he also started rapping competitively at an early age of about 13, 14. And by the time he was a teenager, Mill was reportedly getting into immense trouble. Now, when you look at Meek Mill's face, it looks very, very, very innocent. But when someone tells you that Meek Mill used to get into trouble, you might not believe. Now, one thing for sure is Meek Mill struggles with the law, inspired by the free Meek Mill movement, or the hashtag right there, which has been led by Meek Mill celebrity supporters. These include Harris, aka Ti, Mr. Carter, aka Jay Z, and also his boss, Rick Ross, the biggest boss in this game, obviously. They also wrote on Instagram, as I quote, that every time an obstacle crosses his path, he fights his way through and comes out as a winner, or the other word that we can use, triumphant. Now, the big boss says, I've watched him firsthand with the fight this unjust system for close to a decade. But my dog is a warrior. That's in Rick Ross's voice. Why don't we get to what sent Meek Mill to prison back in 2007? Now, as 2007 or 207 began, the law enforcers, call it the police, carried out a drug raid on a house where Meek Mill resided with his family, or we could say cousins. Yeah, Meek Mill was charged with assaulting the police after two officers gave a statement against him in the case, saying he chased them down with a gun and tried to kill them or shoot at them. Fast forward 2008, Meek Mill was sentenced to several months in prison, but was released with 5 years parole. Now, how does he, violate the parole here? Meek Mill admitted that he was carrying a gun illegally to a local grocery store, but he also denied that he pulled out the weapon to threaten police. He has further stated that if he had taken out a weapon, then he believes that he would have been shot and killed by the police. I so agree. If you do agree, get down to the commentary section. Meek Mill, when the police said that he had a gun and he tried to shoot at them, Meek Mill believes that if he had taken out that gun, he would have been shot at and killed by the police. You all know American police. Take, for example, when they pull you over and they just see your body moving in the car, they do assume you're pulling out a weapon to shoot at them. That's why they come ready, as one hand is on their waist or next to their weapon because they also fear to die. So for Meek Mill's reasoning here and this Meek Mill's defense, we do agree that if Meek Mill had a weapon to threaten police, he states that if he had taken it out, he believes that he would have been shot at and killed by the police. Now, getting into the police dispute, Meek Mill's version and the incident and the court records that were cited by also the media, and then a second officer claimed that Meek Mill had brandished a weapon on the night of that very incident. Wow, this was a very, very hot topic back then. But then, beat the shit out of me. He used his mugshot with his swollen eye prominently displayed on the cover of his mixtape Dream Chasers 4. What happens the several years after the parole violations that kept coming up? Over the next 5 years, Meek Mill was convicted of several parole violations. And oh my God, many of the violations involved him failing to report to his travel plans to the judge presiding over his case as required. Now, this became a judge versus Meek Mill kind of thing. During a music video shoot, we don't have to forget this back in 2014, where Meek posed with water guns for a photo. Judge Janice Brinkley sentenced Meek Mill to 3 to 6 months in county jail for posing with a firearm, which is considered a probation violation. Fast forward March 2017, Meek was reportedly arrested after being involved in a fight at a St. Louis airport. Wow, this guy has seen days. Now, a few months later, he was arrested again in New York for reckless endangerment after an incident on his dirt bike. Meek Mill was incarcerated at the State Correctional Institute in Chester, Pennsylvania. We're still talking Meek Mill, just in case you're watching in and your finger hasn't hit the subscribe button. The time is right now. This is Black Social TV. We're talking the Meek Mill that you didn't know. With an innocent face, I can all see right there. Meek Mill claims that he had several bizarre experiences with the judge. Now, after his sentence hearing on September 5th, 2016, Meek told the judge, that is Judge Berkeley, that Nicki Minaj to see her in the chambers, and Meek claims that at this point the judge asked Meek if he would consider doing a remake of Boys to Men's on the Bended Knee. Wow, they asked him to kneel in court. Now, the judge here asked me to shout out, Meek Mill says, some important people like my mother, herself, Nikki. Meek told the media that I was astonished that the judge is even talking about doing a remake to a song that was an eyebrow raiser for me. Don't you agree? Judge Berkeley denies this event ever occurred. In an opinion filed in court, the judge insisted that she committed no error and that sentence of Meek Mill was not manifestly excessive. She also accused Meek's lawyers of making baseless accusations against her regarding her conduct during the case. Ladies and gentlemen, this was some extraordinary relief back in 2018, where on April 24th, the same year, the Pennsylvania Supreme Court issued an order which agreed to grant Meek Mill extraordinary relief because of the questions the Philadelphia District Attorney's Office posed regarding the rapper's original arrest in 2007 and the behavior of the arresting officer that time. Meek Mill legal team had produced evidence that the officer that is back then, that is Reginald V. Graham, allegedly lied to secure Meek Mill's conviction. Why don't we get to July 2019, where it was reported that Meek Mill's 208 conviction on drug and gun charges was due to be thrown out. Meek Mill will be granted a new trial. This also meant that for the first time in over a decade, Meek Mill was not on probation. Wow. And this gave Meek Mill some happy hands for the friends right there for the hashtag free Meek Mill. And Meek Mill today is partnering with Rock Nation, that is Jay Z, and he has his own label, Dream Chasers. He's the rapper that you did not know about. His name is Meek Mill. Click subscribe to Black Social TV. I'm Dennis the Business. Thanks for watching.